They did talk about foot fetish briefly. Where? The only question I recall that even teetered on that is when towards the end Boogie did mention like the sexual predator stuff, and I think. All right, let's get into the Dan Schneider stuff. So the docuseries dropped, which I talked about a few days ago, that it was on the horizon. And as I think everyone expected, a lot of big information came to light. A huge one was about Drake Bell and an individual named Brian Peck. Now, like I said, I haven't seen the full documentary and the entire context surrounding it. I just saw all the information from it afterwards. But apparently, Brian Peck sexually abused Drake Bell and actually went to prison for it for like 16 months. And after 16 months in the slammer, dude landed a job almost immediately with Disney. Which, if that doesn't show you that there is something deep-seatedly evil about the industry, I don't know what does. Brian Peck was the guy's name. And that is wild, Musty Jesus. And there was a lot more as well. Some of the other ones, like Amanda Bynes, there's a lot of information there. Huge bunch of bombshells come from this. And Dan Schneider then got an interview with Boogie from iCarly. And this interview is painfully staged to try and make Dan appear sympathetic and not bad. Dan Schneider is someone I think everyone in the world knows has a really creepy past. This guy is the boogeyman of children's programming. Like, his reputation has spread far and wide. There's even those rumors that circulated, though I don't think there's ever been any evidence, where he may have been the father of Jamie Lynn Spears' baby type shit. But, like, he had that contest where he had kids send in pictures of their feet because he's a foot fetishist, which is a question that doesn't even come up in this interview, by the way. I don't recall feet ever being mentioned here, even though he is like a well-documented foot fetishist who had a lot of the child actors and actresses showcasing their feet prominently. And then there's also that like potato thing that he had Ariana Grande do or whatever. None of that being addressed in here. But yeah, he's got his apology tour going on. Is this the first time people have seen him since he left Nick? I don't know. It's the first time I've seen him since he left. He used to be significantly heavier. Now he looks like Rip Torn. He looks like he has been deep-faked as a Rip Torn model. So he's lost a lot of weight. Thanks, Resub Pav. He looks like he's wearing a disguise. He does. He actually does look like he's wearing a disguise. Like, his neck beard looks like it's glued on. Thanks for your sub time consumer in Moogie in the Prime Battle Axe. They did talk about foot fetish briefly. Where? The only question I recall that even teetered on that is when towards the end Boogie did mention like the sexual predator stuff. And I think it wasn't like confronting him directly about the feet stuff. It was like, do you think some of these jokes, like this aged poorly, like adults looking back on this now and finding something wrong with it? And basically Dan's response was, cut the jokes. I don't want to offend anyone if these jokes didn't age well or people look at them through a different lens and they feel they're inappropriate for children. Cut the jokes. But it was never really confronting him directly about his foot fetishism. These are the gifts of Tacoma. What's wrong with foot fetish? I mean, if you like feet, man, you can. But he was a kids show director who had the kids portray or like showcasing their feet. That's not okay. That's the problem. Bringing kids into the fetish. Jeanette came out with her book and indirectly mentioned her time at Nickelodeon. I never read her book, but I did. I mean, I know about it. It's called "I'm Glad My Mother's Dead," I think is what it's called. Is this interview recent? Came out today. In light of the docuseries dropping, he immediately set this up to defend himself. So it came out today because of all of this. Oh, well, thanks for the confirmation, Arthas. Appreciate it. People are mad at the Neds. People are mad at the Neds. Jesus. People are mad at the Neds declassified kids for making fun of the situation. Yeah, I saw that floating around where they were making jokes. And people were saying that it's pretty tasteless and weird to be making jokes about something like that. But I didn't actually watch the clips or anything, so I don't exactly know what they were saying. I just saw that kept floating around.